Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum everybody for joining. So today is day 3 of our Mindful Ramadan series. We're talking about Ana Saim, the mindfulness of the body and the soul. That Ramadan is about being mindful of how we are having spiritual food, that we are feeding our soul and not our body. We're able to carve the desires and the emotions in our body to get to a higher level where we are connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we're able to strengthen our soul. So one of the things that we want to talk about today in that paradigm of body versus the soul is the concept of emotions, that what emotions is and how do we redirect emotions to get to a higher level in terms of our iman, in terms of our being mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And emotions, if people ask that, what is emotion? What is emotion? And researchers and psychologists and people that have been doing a lot of work around emotions say that emotions are what is experienced in the body. Emotions are what is experienced in the body, that it is a response to a stimuli, that's something that stimulates us in our brain, and it also shows up in our body. So we're able to vividly feel emotions in our body. So for example, when you're getting angry, think about what happens to your body. That if you pay attention, then you know the signs. You're able to redirect your emotions by paying attention to your body. And how do you do that? When you're seeing that you're getting upset or you're getting angry and all of a sudden there's contraction in your chest, or you're feeling this tightness in your shoulder or your neck, and you're understanding that these are the signs, or your face is turning red. So, or before an interview, you're feeling anxious, or when a loved one calls and our heart races and we're excited. These are the signs, these are the emotions that actually shows up in our body. And if we are able to pay attention to our body, then we're able to redirect our body. We're able to redirect those emotions by controlling our body. And this research is amazing because it gives you the power back, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you that will. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you that ability, that if you are aware, if you are mindful, then you're able to redirect your emotions, you're able to control your body, and in Ramadan sense, you're able to feed your soul. And so one of the things that happens in fasting, that this research, that this beautiful thing about this emotion that Allah has created in our body, and these signs that Allah has created, these are all signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these emotions, all these emotions that show up, that وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ, Allah says that there are all these signs within yourselves that do not you see. وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ. So fasting, it is exactly that. It is the ability to be mindful of Allah, and through that mindfulness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're also being mindful of everything that you're doing. That you are fasting and you are actually redirecting your emotions, you're redirecting your needs, your bodily desires to feed your soul. And one of the psychologists, Viktor Frankl, who was a Holocaust survivor, and he said something really amazing. And he said that between the stimuli and the response, between something that triggers us and our response, lies a space. There is a space between that, the stimuli and our response. And in that space lies our growth and our freedom. That if we're able to take that pause, if we're able to have that space before we respond, that we're able to grow and we're able to be free of being compelled to take an action right away. We have the choice of how we want to react and when we want to react. And this is a beautiful thing, and this is the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, as we see that he had full control on how he reacted to his emotions, that he never got upset because of a personal reason. And this is something that we see in fasting, that we're having that pause, we're having that space, that yes, I am hungry, but I have that space until I'm allowed to break my fast. I'm thirsty, or yes, you are saying something to me, and I'm getting upset, and I want to say something with my tongue, or my emotions are letting me react, but ana saim. And the Prophet said to say, ana sa'im, that I am fasting. And that is our space. That is our pause. That is where we reflect. That is where we be mindful. So if we are able to take this beautiful lesson from fasting and make it part of our life, then we're able to have a better understanding of how do we continue to redirect our emotions and our desires in a way that we're able to take that pause and have that space and check and be mindful of Allah and see what pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also think about ways that we can respond in a way that is more pleasing to Allah. That elevates our soul, that feeds our soul, that gives us that boost of iman. And this is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that in Hadith al-Qudsi, Allah says that all the actions of son of Adam for him except for fasting, fasting is for me. And the scholars say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give a special reward for fasting. And some scholars say that Allah himself is the reward for fasting. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains that in the later part of the Hadith al-Qudsi. He says that because my slave gives up his food and drink and his lowly desires out of love for me. Out of love for me. So when we give all this up for the love for Allah, Allah's love comes back to us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves us back. And this is the beautiful thing about how we pay attention to our body and redirect the bodily signs and our emotions and needs and desires to be able to feed our soul and elevate ourselves. The concept of ana sa'im, the concept of having that pause. And I will end by giving you an action item, by giving you a tool, which is that whenever you feel emotions in your body, just try to be aware and try to pay attention next time and pause. And if you can take your time out for the environment that is triggering you, if you go to a place where you're able to be sitting silent, think about what happened to your body. Even write it down, maybe journal, write down what are some things that happened to you. And how do you, when that happens, can react in a way that you don't give in. You have that pause. You have that moment to reflect before you're able to respond. And a lot of times when you're seeing those signs in your body, you are able to relax your muscles. So there are various ways of doing it, like body scan, understanding what are some emotions I'm carrying in my body, or progressive muscle relaxation. Whenever you see the muscles tightening up, just relax and breathe. And as you're relaxing your body, you're able to have a little bit more rational thinking in your mind, and you're able to calm your mind by controlling and relaxing your body as you see those signs of stress or anger or any other emotion that's showing up. So, and as you're doing that, make dhikr of Allah, that, astaghfirullah or la ilaha illallah, whatever dhikr comes to you, that you're able to think that how do I react in a way that Allah will be pleased with me. So I hope this was helpful. Inshallah, we'll continue our Mindful Ramadan series for another 4 days, inshallah. May Allah bless you. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.